Hey guys, so just got back from a little rip on the quad, as you can see. It's pretty fun to drive. I just thought, because we're not getting any snow up here in Canada for some reason, it's actually pretty warm out. It's like right around 0 or 32 degrees. Chickens are enjoying themselves in the background. There's the Grizzly. Alright, I'll flip the camera around and let's do a little bit of a walk around and we'll talk about this thing. Alright, here she is. Look at this thing. Does that thing look cool? She's a beauty. Warn winch on the front. Maxilla tires. Special editions come with the Maxxis. The size is 27 by 1014. Look at those rims, metallic rims. These SEs up here in Canada look pretty sharp. Your Warn winch in there. Yeah, so what can we talk about on this thing? Got your gear shift lever there, park, reverse, neutral, high, low. Got all your controls up here for the headlights. Left lever is your rear brakes, and then there's a cable that comes from the little pedal down there, and it actually operates the lever up here. These are hydraulic four-wheel disc brakes on this thing, which is kind of cool compared to some of the other quads that run a single brake caliper on the back. This one actually does have dual disc brakes on the back. Yeah, shocks and springs aren't anything fancy. I know these do have some preload adjustment on them. We got some storage in the back here. This is definitely not dry storage. There's absolutely no seal of any kind on that door, really. So these are the Heat Demon grips I put on there. They work really well. I like these a lot. Yeah, it's got a LED tail light, brake light on the back. These actually do come with a license plate bracket, which a lot of other quads don't come with. Got your fuel fill right here, holds 20 liters of fuel. This Grizzly, just like any other Grizzly, likes to drink. It burns a lot of gas for some reason, I guess partly because of how I drive. This is the dry storage on here. Pretty good seal on this. I'm kind of a seal in here. So you can put stuff in there, and you don't want to cork these down too tight or you're going to have a hell of a time getting it back off. There's a pretty good storage cubby up here too. Now the thing with this storage up here is it sits right on top of the engine, so contrary to what some people say, you probably don't want to put water bottles or candy bars or stuff like that in there unless you, as my salesman said, don't put a chocolate bar in there unless you want to drink it with a straw, because it gets really warm and toasty in there. So probably a good place to put things that you want to be warm, like a pair of cold gloves or something. So you can see I added the Heat Demon dual zone controller on here. I haven't really looked up any videos on how these work. I didn't know how they worked until I actually bought it for myself. So you have thumb right here and grips there, and then you can select either one of those, and then if you select the grips you can change your heat setting, turn it off, or I have it on number 2 right now, and then you can go over to your thumb and adjust that one as well to whatever heat setting you want. Over here you got your 2-wheel drive. You can hear it shift in the front diff, so that's going to be 4-wheel drive if it's pushed in, and then you can flip that over and access your front diff lock, and you can hear that on the front diff as well. Switch over. Definitely don't want to switch that when you're spinning. This one here I've switched. I think in the owner's manual it says not to switch this unless you're stopped, but so long as you're not spinning it's probably okay to do. I don't see any issue with that. Here's the display. I got 53 kilometers on it. It's almost double since the last video. I'm not entirely sure how that happened. Time flies when you're having fun, I guess. Not so many hours I have on it now, 5.6, so about a quarter way through being broken. Yeah, and over here you have your Warn winch control, which is in a fairly good spot. You can reach it without taking your hand off the handlebar when you're plowing, stuff like that. yeah, and your key switch is over here, and you have a 12-volt outlet, which would have been nicer to have one inside your dry storage, but whatever works. There's your Grizzly graphics. Now this had quite a bit of a belt rattle, or a clutch rattle when I bought it, and I took this all apart, took the belt off, took the primary clutch apart, and there wasn't a whole lot of grease on the rollers. So I spread the grease around and it quieted it down a lot. It sounded like it was going to fly apart when it was cold. Now it sounds a whole lot better. It's coming around the front. These are LED high and low beam on the bottom, and then you have a high beam halogen on the top. And now they explained, the sales guy explained to me that the halogen in the top, you can put an LED light in there, but the halogen light, apparently you can see through dust and snow a little bit better with the halogen versus an LED. So I know these switch high and low. Let's see if I can actually do that for you. Let's go over here and I'll turn it on. See if you see down here. So you got your high, and then you got your, that's your high there, and your low on your bottom light, and then you got your high and low on the top. When it's in low, the top one turns off, and then in high, the top one kicks back on again, as well as you have high and low on your LEDs on both sides at the front. So that's kind of cool. And these lights are, shut this off here. Headlights on this thing are absolutely phenomenal. You can see quite a ways with them. Probably going to get some LED rings or some halo rings for them eventually. Pretty nice winch. It does come with steel rope. No big deal. And one of the nice touch with this winch, I'm not sure if it comes on all of them, but it does have a snowplow fair lead on it, which this the bottom roller is a whole lot bigger than the top roller, and that's too. So when your cable is going down to your plow, it kind of puts a bit of a wider curve on that cable, so it's not going to be pinching the cable as bad or kinking the cable. It's got pretty good ground clearance. I think it's just about a foot, 11.5 inches or something like that. I think the weight on these Grizzlies is just shy of 800 pounds by the time you fill it up with fuel. So yeah, there you have it. It's kind of my walk around review. I absolutely love this quad. No regrets purchasing it at all. Obviously the SE up here in Canada, because our dollar isn't worth very much, these are you pay a premium price for them anyways compared to some of the other models out there. It does say on the tag it's built in the States, so at least it didn't have a boat ride over here. Yeah, so that's about it. The one thing I was going to talk about is the air intake for the engine is about to where the sticker is underneath. Let me pop the seat off of here and I'll show you. You can see the air intake comes up right underneath of here. That's where you draw your fresh air in for the engine. So if you got water up to your shifter, you probably wouldn't want to go any deeper than that. And then you just pop this off here. That's kind of your front cover. It's just held on by 4 little rubber grommets. Pop this off for you. This is where all the magic happens. So there's your belt intake right here. You got your battery right there, and the engine computer, and then you have some fuses and stuff. This cover over here. One of the interesting things, and I think this is kind of cool, is they have a couple of switched ignition power wires here. So I hooked this one up for my heated grips, and then you could probably put your heated seat or whatever other accessories you want to wire in here to switched ignition power. So that's kind of cool. You don't have to go tearing into the harness or hooking it up to the battery or anything like that. They got that pre-wired for you. So yeah, this is your belt intake. You'd have to be pushing some serious water to get any water in your belt, and then the exhaust is just below it. under this right front cowling cover. So yeah, everything seems pretty watertight, and then the radiator's just under there and the rad caps off to the side. It's got a pretty substantial size radiator in there. I've been out riding with guys that throw these things into every single mud hole they can find and have zero cooling issues. I mean, you could relocate it, but I'm going to see how it works first before I start relocating stuff. Yeah, at some point I want to put snorkels on it, and depending on how the cooling system works out, I will probably put a rad relocate on it as well. Hope not, but if I have to, that's what I'll do. So back to the air cleaner. This is a foam element air cleaner. It's not a paper filter, so I would assume that would work a lot better. Obviously the foam filters with oil filter out a lot more dirt and dust than a paper filter will. These come with a little toolkit in here. Comes with quite a few things. Probably everything you'd need to get water out of your engine if you drowned it out. There's a couple of wrenches, a spark plug wrench, screwdriver, and tire pressure gauge in there. It's got kind of an automotive style fuel pump sitting up here too. That's pretty easy to get to if you ever needed to service that. So yeah, let's button it back up. Last but not least, I forgot to mention it, this has a full-size 2-inch receiver hitch on the back. You can take the hitch out of your truck or pickup and it will fit in here. I know with the Can-Ams, guys are having to drill a different hole in their receiver hitch to get it to fit because it would bottom out against the rear diff. This one has plenty of room. I took the hitch right out of my truck and it fit in there no problem. No modification required, so that's kind of cool if you need to use it around the farm for whatever. So yeah, side note, very handy. It's a nice touch for a utility focused quad. Okay guys, so there you have it. A little walk around on the 2021 Grizzly Special Edition in Tactical Black. Yeah, the Canadian weather around here is not really cooperating for a snow plowing video. I've been dying to do that one. I'll show you how the plow mount hooks up, how the KFI plow attaches to the quad, and then hopefully do some serious snow plowing, because up here in Canada we can definitely get the snow, but right now it's not snowing. It's actually above 0 or above 32 degrees. Snow's melting, which is not great for a plowing video, and I want to make one where you can actually see some serious snow being moved. So anyways, I'm going to upload this to YouTube. It's January 2nd. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you want to. If not, no big deal. Thanks so much for all the support so far, and more videos to come.